Hey guys, hey, today on Only a Fool Plays the Grain Game, I've got a really cool science trick for you that I want to show you. But for the science trick really to be effective, I need you to use your imaginations for me, okay? Because I'm going to tell you a story as I do the trick. And so kind of use your imaginations and it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's imagine that the plate is the world. And the Bible says that in the beginning, God created the world, okay? Now, in the world, he did a lot of things. He made the earth, he made the land, the sea, the sky. He made birds and fish and animals. It was amazing. The last thing that he created was the best thing of all. He created man. Okay, so let's say that he filled the earth. I'm going to use my coffee just to demonstrate that God filled the earth with all this cool stuff. The Bible says that his greatest creation was man. Matter of fact, God liked to come to the garden and spend time with man, with Adam and with Eve, the first man and the first woman. So let's just kind of imagine the candle being God. And so God comes down, and it said in the cool of the evening, he would walk with them in the garden. So they had this great personal relationship with God, you know? Now, in this relationship, God had a few rules. The first thing that he told them was, I never want you to eat of the tree that's in the center of the garden. It's the tree of good and evil. Don't eat from that tree. If you eat from it, you're going to die, okay? And so that was their only rule. He said, everything else in the garden is great. Go for it. Well, Eve gets deceived by Satan. Satan comes in the form of a snake and talks to her, which is kind of weird. But he talks to her, and he says, hey, look, the apple is great. Look at that tree over there. It's got great fruit on it. It's going to be good to eat. You know, why would God hold that back from him? And so she took a bite out of it. She said, oh, this is so good. And she gave it to Adam, and he ate it too. And you know what happened? Sin. Sin came into the world. That's when we disobey God. That's sin. So let's imagine the glass is sin. And watch this as I put the glass in, and you can zoom in. It's going to separate us from God. And actually what it does is it pushes away everything that was around the candle. It pushes it away. And that's what sin does in our lives. Sin separates us from God. Well, this was never God's plan. This isn't what God wanted. God wanted a relationship with Adam and Eve, just like he wants a relationship with me and you. But sin is separating us from it. Sin separates us from God and from that relationship. So God had a plan, though. Let me show what the plan was. God's plan was his son, Jesus. So let's imagine that when we light the candle, with that flame, that's Jesus, okay? Now watch real close. So we have Jesus, he's in the garden, he's in the center, and we've got sin that's separating us from God and from Jesus. Now watch what happens. Zoom in there and look, watch. You see what's happening? All of the coffee is coming in underneath the cup. And so everything that was far away from God has gotten close to him now. Everything is sucked in there with the candle. But what happened to the candle? It went out. In order for all the coffee to come into the glass, the candle had to die. In order for me and you to have a relationship with God and be forgiven of our sin, Jesus had to die on the cross. God's plan from the very beginning was that when we sinned, that Jesus would be the sacrifice that would pay for our sin. And he had to die on a cross in order that we could come and be close to God. In Ephesians, it says, those of you who were once far away from God have been brought near by the blood of Christ. Isn't that cool? That we can have a relationship with God because of what Jesus did on the cross. Thanks, guys, for watching. Only a Fool Plays the Grain Game.